Hey, this is Sean from the Ergo Builds. Today I want to transform this corner from this to this. So this is what I think. The traditional bed frame do have some space, but it's not fully utilized. Although I can just put my stuff underneath it and use the space as a storage, but it looks messy. And I believe everyone have similar experience that I do, is that if you just accidentally drop your stuff like your phone, whatever, and then eroding under the bed, it's gonna be hard for you to find. Plus, I have 2 cats. The cats are well known for their hide and seek skills, and they shed. So it's gonna be hard for me to find them sometimes, and then also hard for me to clean up the space. So what I'm aiming for is a concealed storage system with a nice and clean look. After research and browsing on YouTube, I got some really good inspiration. So the solution I'm going for is a modular IKEA cabinet combination, because they have so many sizes you can choose, so it's easy for you to customize it for your storage system. So here's my plan to organizing all those cabinets to support my standard size queen bed. It matches perfectly with the dimension of the mattress, and I also make some other plan for the twin and the king. Feel free to take a screenshot, it's free. And if you can also give me a free thumbs up and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Besides, the height of the cabinet is 20 inches, and I think it balances the comfort when get on the bed and also the overall space under the bed for storage. So that's my plan, and let's start to assemble those cabinets. After we finish assembling the cabinet, you will notice this door, it's flush with the floor. That means it's gonna be hard to open if we leave it as like this. So the way we're gonna do is to add a little bit of space between the cabinet and the floor. The way I'm going to do is to use this pine board to build the foundation. And I don't need to do this for the entire area. I only need to do it under my cabinets, which is like this and that side. So let's do that. The way I connect those boards are pocket holes. I will link the jig I used in the video description. Now we have the foundation ready. Let's put on those cabinets. So here is the first mistake I made, because I need to connect those cabinets together so it will stabilize and stay on the ground. But the thing is, I have already installed the door. That makes these things harder to connect, so I have to remove them first. So let's do that. Now we can start to fasten the cabinets. I started with a corner one and go from there. The way I did is to simply drill some screws to the bottom boards, and the second one also the same. But there's the tricky part. Since the way this cabinet connect to the corner one is the side to back, meaning there's no actual board adjacent to each other. So I shoot some brad nails to connect these two. The rest of the cabinet are more straightforward as they all have adjacent boards, so I would just screw them together. If you see a gap while connecting them, trying to unscrew and rescrew again. Now we can put in back all the drawers and doors. So the next thing I'm going to do is to set up a foundation in this space, and I can run some slats horizontally across the entire area. But the thing is, if you look at here, this is only 3/4 inch thick, and here is the space can be open as the entrance to our under the bed storage. So in order to run the slats, we need to add some support like a beam, but I don't want to make it too thick because it will sacrifice this headroom when I crawl into the space. So we need to solve this first. So the solution I'm going to have here is to use a 2x4 and cut a 1.5 inch square on each side. This is 1.5 and this is 1.5. And then I'm gonna cut additional 3/4 inch groove here. This is 3/4, this is 3/4. And then the way to use it is I already have a spacer, which is a scrap plywood. Here, I'm gonna lay this on top of it. I'm gonna use some screws and nails to connect this rail with the frame. And I'm gonna do it in this side and the other side. So after that, I'm gonna have the slab just sit on top of it. Here, I'm adding additional support using some scrap plywood so that the weight and pressure can transfer to the ground, just like adding some load-bearing posts for the roof. The main reason for that is we are attaching this rail to the IKEA panel, which is the particle board, so I wanted to make it a little bit stronger. Next, on the other side, I attached another rail. I just used my stuff finder to find the wood behind the drywall, and this time I don't need to add any additional posts as the rail is attached to a solid wood. But Sean, wait a minute, what are these two pieces of wood doing? Let's quickly go back in time. So in order to make our slats strong enough, I'm trying to add additional rail in the middle because the middle one will bear a lot of weight. I attached 2 additional pieces to the cabinet and the wall respectively to support the middle rail. The one that's on the wall, I would just find the stud, use stud finder, level it, and attach the wood block. The other side, I just used a vertical piece that attached to the cabinet as well as the bottom board using some pocket hole on the side. Now I can put on the middle rail, which is a whole beefy 2x4. And I did a quick weight test. It's pretty solid, although it has some flex because of the total span, but I think it will be fine when we add the slats and the matrix on top of it. For the slats, I would just use some plywood offcuts and repurpose them from this project. While I'm cutting down the strips, something happened. So my shop vac is broken, and then I don't know what's happening. My assumption would be something clogged and then causing the engine overload, but I don't have time to diagnose what is really happening. And then I have to finish this project in this weekend, and it smells really bad. But anyway, let me know in the comment, have you seen this before? How do you solve it? Maybe I would just need to, buy a new one. But anyway, let's get back to work. So I continue cutting the slats I need without the shop vac, and I'm glad I have a good respirator to protect myself. The slab is 3 3/4 inches wide, and then the space between the wall and the last cabinet is around 63 inches. So I created this 3 1/4 inch gap so it can perfectly space all the slabs. And I will put the math in here, and let's start working on that. Alright, so the last piece of the puzzle is this corner section that it has about 11 inches wide, which is hard for me to find a proper IKEA cabinet to perfectly fit in here. So I have become a little bit creative by creating this little section by myself because I have some leftover off-cut melamine, which I have no idea how to use them. So I just cut a few boards, put it together, edge bend in the top, but not the bottom because I can't see anything at the bottom anyway. And this is the section that in the corner of the bed, and you can see the doors over there, so we can hardly see this. Even when we see it, it's still looking good. And then it has some gap between those boards. It can become like a ventilation thing for the space under the bed. So let me know in the comment section, do you think this is a good idea or would you do differently? Alright, now we can put on our mattress on the platform and let's check out the final review. The overall setup looks very clean with nothing exposed. We have a corner section for ventilation to prevent any mold, a drawer and cabinet with adjustable shelf for storage, and the platform is designed so my cat can hide anywhere. Finally, there's a massive storage space in the middle for items I do not use frequently, and with that custom ventilation, I can have some natural lighting. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I have more IKEA hack and woodworking video in this channel. I hope to see you soon.